Listening to a company higher-up give a report, I suddenly got bombarded in a long-dead high school chat group. Liam, haven't you seen David's posts? He's getting married today, and you're not going? Only now, because of the constant pings, I realized my high school class president, David, was getting married, and everyone from our class was there. Sorry, I've been super busy at work. I tried to explain, but it just made the attacks in the chat even worse. Busy with what? You never post on social media. You must be doing terribly. Yeah, just admit you're embarrassed about your life. Then David joined in. Remember the bet I made that my wife would be out of your league? Honestly, I didn't remember. Other people in the group started mocking me. David's wife is a CEO with a multi-million-dollar dowry. Don't tell me you're so broke you can't afford a wife and can't even give a wedding gift. Maybe start a crowdfunding campaign and we'll pitch in. Under the barrage, David pretended to make peace but kept adding fuel to the fire. I'd really love for you to come to my wedding and witness this happy moment, he went on to say. I can even get you a job as a security guard if you show up. Then he posted a picture of him with his bride tobe. I was stunned. Wasn't that my wife, Sarah? Sure, I'll definitely be there to witness, I shot back. Right after my reply, I got a message from Sarah. Hey, Liam, I'm visiting my parents today, but I left you some food in the fridge. Just heat it up when you're hungry. Love you, Sarah. Sarah and I had been married for 3 years. She spends money like water but always takes care of me, even when traveling. I used to find it touching, but now it's just ridiculous. I ended the meeting early and drove to David's hometown, following the location he posted. From a distance, I could see the huge red banner at David's family hotel. Congratulations to CO Sarah on her wedding, it read. David, in a fancy tailored suit, was there, waiting eagerly for the bride, surrounded by classmates from high school. David, you really had us fooled. Didn't know you were marrying a CEO. You're going to be living the high life now. Don't forget us humble folks. Even our high school teacher was there, showering David with praises. David, I always knew you'd amount to something big. David soaked in the attention like a proud rooster. After marrying Sarah, she wanted to try her hand at business. I funded her ventures in fashion, beauty, fitness. All of them failed. Then she wanted to start her own company, so I let her manage my smallest business unit. Unexpectedly, it's become David's crowning achievement, the basis of today's shower of praises. As I arrived, my old classmates eyed me contemptuously. One of David's friends sneered, "Did you rent a Rolls for this occasion, Liam?" Others chimed in, trying to show off. Huh, this car rental must be burning up a year's salary. You're only here to put on a front. There's no hiding it. I stayed calm. This is my car. David suddenly stepped up to me and punched me in the face. Your car? This is my wife's car. I've suspected she was seeing someone. Never thought it was you, a worthless leech. That punch left me dazed. Classmates gawked. David, is it really your wife's car? No doubt about it, David boasted, showing off intimate photos of him and Sarah in the car that matched mine. Everyone started whispering. So it's true, Liam is just a kept man, huh? David glared at me. Now I know why you never post online, eating off others' success. Others joined in. Liam always seemed so upright. Who knew he lived off a woman? I used to think he was a top student. Classmates' disdain only fueled the gossip. Even the teacher looked down on me. Liam, don't claim you were my student. I didn't raise someone with no morals. Public shaming drew a bigger crowd, pointing at me, filming me. I was covered in everyone's scorn. I tossed my designer jacket worth thousands into the trash and glared at David. You hit me without knowing the truth. You really think you're untouchable, don't you? David strutted towards me, full of himself. What? You gonna hit me? So what if there's no law, he snapped. You show up at my wedding in my wife's car begging for a beating. He turned to the Rolls-Royce behind me, cursing with rage. I hate mistresses the most, living off women even more disgusting. Pulled out a key and scratched big letters into my car. Mistress scum. I glanced at those bold letters, my voice icy. You'll realize soon how ironic those words are. David blew up even more. You little punk. Steal my woman, then laugh at me? The thought of you driving my wife's car makes me sick. He picked up a brick from the roadside and smashed it into my car, windows, lights, hood. He didn't spare a thing. David's the future head of the group. We can't let him get bullied by someone like Liam, someone from the crowd shouted. Everyone grabbed whatever they could find and began smashing up my car. They didn't stop at the windows. They climbed inside and shredded the seats and interiors. The once pristine luxury car turned into a heap of scrap metal. I stared at these maniacs, my gaze cold. Hope you're just as happy when it comes time to pay for this. Ignoring my warning, they continued their rampage, treating me like I was invisible. Suddenly, one of David's sidekicks popped the trunk and shouted, "Look at all the stuff he's got back here." David walked up, pulled out a painting, and sneered. A lowlife gigolo collecting art to pretend he's classy. I stepped up, warning them. These are worth more than the car, especially that piece. These were auction items I hadn't had time to display. David sneered and kept tearing everything apart. These paintings in the hands of scum like you are an insult. You're not worthy of any of this. He ripped a masterpiece into pieces, stomped on it. Then someone yelled, "That looks like an authentic Chibai. Started at $3 billion in the auction." David arrogantly replied, "So what? It's all my wife's money. Her money is mine. I can destroy my stuff if I want to." I was speechless with anger. Not to mention that Sarah's a lavish spender who frequently bankrupts her businesses. Even the company's value nearly halved under her leadership because of her incompetence. If she weren't my wife, she'd be figuratively long gone. Yet David and these classmates see her as this incredible CEO, admiring her like she's the best thing ever. With David leading, other classmates started ripping into the stuff from my trunk. Watching them all, I silently pulled out my phone to pinpoint my location and call for help. But before I could say a word, one of David's lackeys snatched my phone and slammed it to the ground. "Calling for backup? Who do you think you are, surrounded by your sugar mommies? Seriously, man, you're fake as hell." Laughing loudly, they didn't stop mocking me. Looking at my shattered phone, I said coldly, "Hope you're this happy later." David grabbed me by the collar. "You nothing threatening us?" He noticed the jade pendant necklace around my neck, yanked it off. Another thing bought with my wife's money. When I saw that, my face changed. "Give the necklace back," I demanded. Seeing my reaction, David laughed. "Oh, this must be precious." I was desperate. "It's not about the money. It's important to me. This jade pendant is a talisman my mom begged for me with her life. I was a sickly child, almost died when I was 5. My mom wouldn't accept losing me. Went to the temple, crawling on her knees up the mountain in sweltering heat, bloody and broken, to get this pendant. I miraculously woke up, but my mom fell gravely ill, passing the pendant to me with her final request: keep it safe. I treasured it all my life. It's my mom's legacy and my sacred line. I can't allow anyone to damage it." But David didn't care. He smashed it to the ground, shattered, scattering across the earth. "No." Watching this moment, my heart tore apart. "You monster." I seethed. Unable to hold back, I punched David fiercely. Filled with rage, I barely wound up for another when someone kicked me. Then the group pounced, kicking and punching me. "You think you can hit David? He's the CEO's husband. All over a necklace you got from being a gigolo? Get over it, you lowlife." Even the teacher kicked me a couple of times. I was left shaking on the ground, teeth gritted, saying through clenched teeth, "You'll regret this." Their laughter mocked me like they'd heard the funniest joke ever. Everyone burst out laughing. "You still think you're in high school? Think you're a top student so you're above us? Yeah, right. Being good at studying is useless. You're nothing but society's trash now, earning money by kissing up to women. And you threaten us? If you're living off a woman, you gotta own it. If you're gonna get hit, stand up straight, you shameless loser. Trying to steal a woman from an old classmate? Aren't you embarrassed? If I were you, I'd be ashamed enough to die." Those people pinned me down, taunting and humiliating me without a care. The crowd just criticized me, spitting at me. David, feeling backed by the crowd, stepped on my face arrogantly. "Regret? Yeah, right. I've never regretted anything in my life. I'm waiting to see how you loser will make me regret." As soon as he finished, dozens of luxury cars sped up and stopped in front of everyone. Then men in suits quickly and orderly stepped out of their cars. A huge scene made the noisy crowd fall silent immediately. Those classmates holding me down slowly let go, stood straight, and looked over. Even David lifted his foot, his eyes fixed on the luxury car lineup. While everyone watched, a suited man walked to the lead car, respectfully opened the door. Then Sarah, wearing a high-fashion wedding dress, slowly stepped out. She had a slender figure, smooth curly hair, beautiful appearance, and a noble aura, instantly attracting everyone's attention. Is that the CEO, Sarah? Yeah, that's her. No wonder she's the famous Ice Queen CEO, even arriving at her wedding in such style. Look, the trunks are open, full of cash for the dowry. Wow, beautiful, rich, and generous. No wonder Liam is her boy toy. David's really lucky, huh? Marrying this top-tier woman. I can't even dream about it. Amidst everyone's admiring exclamations, David smugly took Sarah's hand. Honey, you're so beautiful. Marrying you is my good fortune from a past life. Sarah smiled. You're just sweet-talking me. Seeing this, those old classmates rushed up to curry favor. Sarah, hi. I run a small ad company. If your group needs ads, could you consider us? Here's my card. Sarah, this is our company's new product, free for you to try. If you like it, we'd love your feedback. Sarah, hi. I've been David's desk mate for 3 years, and I've admired you for a long time. Does your group have any vacancies? I'm willing to learn anything. Suddenly, all the old classmates tried their best to get in front of Sarah, recommending themselves by any means. Watching old classmates bow and scrape in front of Sarah, David's smile grew even wider. This feeling of superiority really satisfied him. Sarah just perfunctorily had her assistant accept everything, seemingly used to it. Then David's mom approached, smiling at Sarah. Dear daughter-in-law, finally you're here. We can't wait to have you in the family. Come, let's quickly go into the hotel and finish the wedding. All the relatives are waiting. Sarah nodded and was about to go inside with David when suddenly sirens came closer rapidly. Officers swiftly got out of their cars, sternly saying, "Don't move. We got a report about troublemaking and assault here." The police arrival instantly killed the happy vibe. The old classmates panicked. Some didn't even dare to lift their heads, scared of trouble. Sarah was a bit puzzled, glancing at David. What's going on? Why are the police here? A guilty look flashed in David's eyes, and he mumbled, My classmates said they'd discipline a gigolo for me, so they taught him a lesson. Hearing this, an unnatural look crossed Sarah's face. Gigolo? You know you're the only one in my heart. Why would I have someone on the side? David pressed his lips, looking innocent. All right, maybe I made a mistake, but even if he's not your kept man, he's someone who messed up my wedding. It's right for everyone to deal with him. The old classmates instantly agreed shamelessly. Right. That guy always competed with David in high school. Never could stand David doing better. David was nice enough to invite him to the wedding, and then he came to mess around. Yeah, back in school he always targeted David. Everyone just couldn't stand him anymore. Their goal was to earn David's favor today, so they spared no effort to belittle me and praise David. David's mom also persuaded, Dear daughter-in-law, my son values this wedding. If that loser caused trouble, it'd embarrass you. After listening, Sarah nodded slightly. If it was someone picking on David, a lesson was appropriate. Seeing Sarah's approval, David felt confident. He straightened up, faced the police, and righteously said, Officers, there was someone disrupting my wedding. First, we had no choice but to act. The policeman frowned and stated, Everyone needs to return to the station for investigation. The old classmates who had beaten me looked flustered again. However, David remained unafraid. I'm not going. Today's my wedding day. I won't go to the station. Then he looked at Sarah. Honey, you're the CEO of a big group. Your connections are endless. Help me out here, please. The others also looked to Sarah for help. Yeah, Sarah, someone as important as you. The police should listen to you. Today's your big day with David. If everyone goes to the station, it's embarrassing for you. Exactly. Your group is one of the top in the state. A word from you can settle this. David's mom added, Dear daughter-in-law, today is a big day for you and my son. We've got so many friends and family watching. We can't be embarrassed now, can we? Faced with everyone's anxious looks, Sarah stood tall, confronting the police confidently. Officer, I'm Sarah, the CEO. I know your department heads. Can you let this slide? The cop hesitated for a moment and spoke firmly. You can't just hit people in public, no matter who you know. It's not up to me to decide if we drop it unless the victim forgives you and doesn't press charges. Sarah smirked, confident. Simple. I doubt anyone would dare go against me, Sarah. She then turned to David. Where's the person you hit? David quickly guided Sarah through the crowd and pointed at me, lying on the ground. Honey, it's this guy. I was a mess, dirty clothes, disheveled hair. Sarah didn't even recognize me. She glanced at my injuries dismissively, sneering. You're the one who bullied David back in school, right? I'm David's wife. You've already been taught a lesson, so I won't hold a grudge. Today's my wedding day with David, and I won't allow any disruptions. You're barely scraped up. I'll give you compensation later to settle this. You don't have any objections, right? Sarah's words were nonchalant, her tone full of superiority, like speaking to me was a big favor I had no reason to refuse. But I didn't reply, just scoffed. Sarah frowned slightly. What, not satisfied? She paused for a moment, then added, whatever. Since it's my happy day, I won't fuss too much. If you have any issues in the future, you can come to my office. I'll sort it out for you. Is that enough? She looked down at me disdainfully, like I was the one begging for handouts. David was clearly annoyed, saying, We didn't kill you. Be grateful. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. If we weren't old classmates, you'd be getting nothing. Our other classmates joined in, jealous and bitter. Right? You think you're still that star student from high school? Sarah offering you this is your luck. Stop pretending and get up to thank her. They figured I was secretly pleased with Sarah's offer, like it was my biggest achievement. With everyone piling on, Sarah got impatient, saying, Out of respect for David, I've been more than fair. Don't push it. If you ruin my wedding, I won't be so kind. Under her threat, I braved the pain, slowly standing up to face her. Sarah, you've got quite the swagger, I remarked. The first time I met Sarah was on a rainy night. I was driving home, and with the rain and darkness, visibility was terrible. She appeared out of nowhere, and I hit the brakes hard but still knocked her over. I was frozen, quickly getting out to help her to the hospital, but she staggered up, saying it was fine, and left without looking back. Watching her limp away into the night was unforgettable. I felt drawn to her and did everything I could to find out about her. I discovered she worked at my dad's company. Felt like fate, so I joined his company as an intern the next day. When she saw me at the office, she was clearly surprised. I then found out she was a new intern too, always wearing big glasses, dressing plainly, and acting politely. Her gaze was innocent, giving off a naive vibe. But she worked hard, telling everyone she'd endured hardship growing up and only had persistence to rely on. She was the office's most diligent intern, always working intensely. Her dedication moved me, and I pulled some strings to get her a permanent position. She was over the moon, glowing with joy. After that, she threw herself into her work even more. I admired her tenacity. We gradually grew close. I realized the seemingly simple Sarah had a charmingly playful side, always ready to share her breakfast with me if I'd skipped mine, bring me hot water and medicine when I had a stomachache, and tell jokes to cheer me up. Being with her was always a relaxing experience. Even in silence, her presence was comforting. But our friendship crossed a line one day at a coffee shop. I was in line when the woman ahead accused me of groping her. The whole cafe stared at me with judgment. I defended myself, but no one believed me. The footage didn't catch the critical moment due to the camera angle. Everybody seemed so righteous. They said they were going to take me to the police station. Just when I couldn't defend myself, Sarah suddenly stepped up with her phone. She said she had been recording and taking selfies in the background. She captured the whole incident. The video showed I never touched that woman. Afterwards, that woman fled, feeling ashamed. Everyone who accused me started apologizing. In that moment, I looked at Sarah, and suddenly she glowed with this captivating aura. Couldn't look away. Later, I confessed my feelings to her. She gladly accepted, and that's how we started dating. During the relationship, I always interacted with her as an ordinary guy. I took her to movies, strolled around town, visited parks, and explored amusement parks. Life was simple and happy. Later on, I introduced Sarah to my dad. The moment she found out I was the son of the richest man, Sarah got nervous and uneasy. My dad didn't look down on her rural background. He clearly expressed that he didn't care about social status because no family is richer than ours. He only had one condition, that she must wholeheartedly love me. To this, Sarah swore. She said she'd love only me for life. She even suggested a prenuptial agreement, saying if she ever cheated on me, she'd leave without a penny. Her pure love deeply moved me. After we married, Sarah was always good to me, gentle and attentive, taking care of me in every way she could. To support her dreams, I did everything to assist her, even entrusted the company to her. I just wanted her to be happy. Even though the company didn't do well under her management, I never blamed her. I was content as long as we could live well together. As long as she loved me wholeheartedly, that's all that mattered. For years, I was immersed in the character Sarah portrayed, full of deep love. I once thought I had found true love. Thinking back now, I just feel it's all ironic and laughable. The moment Sarah made eye contact with me, her face went white as a sheet, and she froze completely. Her expression turned to shock and terror. Before Sarah could speak, David interrupted. Liam, who are you to call my wife by her full name? Our old classmates angrily chimed in. Yeah, don't think just cause Sarah wants to make it up to you, you can act recklessly. Without David, you're nothing to Sarah. Exactly. Someone like you is lucky to even see Sarah. You think being David's old classmate gives you free rein. Standing amidst everyone's insults and belittling, I felt nothing, but Sarah's face only got worse. I looked at Sarah with a teasing smirk and casually asked, Sarah, did you hear that? They say I don't deserve to call you by your name. What do you think? My offhand question almost made Sarah collapse. Her lips trembled as she was about to speak, but David jumped in. You worthless thing! How dare you talk to my wife like that? Think I won't beat you today? David marched up to me, raising his fist, but Sarah was quicker. She pushed him away. David stabilized himself, looking incredulously at Sarah. Why'd you push me, babe? Do you feel sorry for this loser? Or is he really someone you've been keeping on the side? The place erupted in chaos. Our old classmates stared wide-eyed at Sarah and me. No way. Liam is really Sarah's kept man. Seems like it. Otherwise, why would Sarah protect him? Just another guy. He can't compare to David, her legitimate husband. True, Sarah's just holding David back because the cops are here, trying to protect David that way. David stepped forward, grabbing Sarah's hand. Even if he's your kept man, why stop me from hitting him? I'm going to be your husband anyway. David sounded full of resentment. Sarah shook off David's hand angrily. Get lost. David stood there baffled, staring at the fierce woman he didn't recognize. He really couldn't believe that the woman he loved with all his heart could have such a harsh side. Sarah wasn't concerned about David's feelings. She was anxious for herself. She grasped my sleeve, gently swaying like a child who made a mistake, carefully said to me, Darling, I know I was wrong. Please forgive me this once. Sarah tried to act spoiled and charming as usual, hoping I'd be moved like always. I looked at her expressionlessly, disappointed. Sarah, before the marriage, you promised me once, like you'd love me and only me forever. But look where we are now. I pointed at David and went on. You say you love me, but you're out there marrying someone else. No wonder I used to just run into you on the street and you'd leave without a word. No wonder you conveniently showed up at coffee shops to help me out and told me not to worry about a lady's slander, saying she just misunderstood. And no wonder when I brought you home and you found out who I really was, you didn't even flinch. Now that I think about it, you've probably had your eye on me all along. That car accident back then, was that your calculated way to get close to me, or what? You knew my family's situation, so you did everything you could to grab my attention, using me as a stepping stone while living it up on my dime. Sarah, you really played your cards well. I was so into the love and attention Sarah gave me that I never doubted her. But it turns out all those touching moments were her carefully laid plans. It's laughable. I thought I'd found true love. I treated her as the most important person in my life. Honey, I truly love you. Sarah kept pulling on me, looking scared and genuinely worried about losing me. David still seemed super confused and asked Sarah, What are you doing, Sarah? You're a CEO. Even if he is your husband, you don't need to bow down so low. Why are you trying to please him like that? Sarah, reedied and angry, glared at David and shouted, Because everything I have is thanks to him. The moment she said that, a bunch of luxury black sedans suddenly pulled up by the curb. A group of suited bodyguards and sunglasses got out, all orderly, heading straight for me. They bowed respectfully. Liam, their voices loud and echoing, leaving everyone stunned. Everyone in the area, dumb or not, could tell that I was someone important. Finally hit them how big they messed up. I gave them a cold look and told the police officer, Officer, these people slandered and attacked me in public and broke a fortune's worth of my stuff. I'm not taking this lightly. Handle this seriously, will you? Okay, nodded the police officer, quickly taking everyone involved to the station. Before leaving, He advised me to bring all my receipts for the damages and my injury reports to the station for a full assessment. I went to the hospital to treat my wounds and get the necessary reports, then headed to the police station with all the paperwork. In the station, former classmates who had been acting all high and mighty now looked downright miserable. They had been buttering up David because they feared Sarah, a CEO, assuming David was the group's future owner. But the guy they were sucking up to was someone they'd always looked down on. Meanwhile, I'm the big deal they tried to bully. It was like they swallowed a fly, disgusting and unbearable. Every one of them stared at David like he was dead meat. David, by now, was a totally broken man. The biggest hit of his life wasn't just about facing massive compensation. Worse was how he always claimed he hated cheaters, but it turned out he was the affair all along. The wedding became a joke, and he was the laughingstock. He couldn't handle it. The police checked my files, tallying up the damages David and the others did to over $960 million in value. Everyone went pale at that. They couldn't believe it. How could he have this much money? One said. Officers, don't get fooled by him, said another. Yeah, we went to high school together. He was always so low-key, never looked like he came from money, a third chimed in. This is fishy. They all agreed. Such cash has to be dirty. The cops snorted. We checked already. He's the son of a billionaire. You can't even imagine his worth. Just because he keeps a low profile doesn't mean he's a target for your nonsense. Silenced by the cops' words, they were speechless. You guys did enough damage to land in prison for life. You should use that energy to think about repaying instead of doubting someone's wealth. He's made no deals with you lot. $960 million for everyone there. It was an impossible amount. They couldn't pay, so they tried to play victim. Come on, we're all classmates. You're loaded anyway. Why drag us down? One protested. Yeah, it was all a misunderstanding. Let it go? Why put us on the spot? Another pleaded. It's just a car and some collection pieces. You won't fuss over such a small issue, right? They were trying to sound righteous, continuing to diminish the damage as if $960 million was just pocket change. I could tell they thought since I was unharmed and wealthy, I should just take the fall and forget it. I just laughed bitterly, saying, now we're classmates? Why didn't that matter when you attacked me? You sure acted all high and mighty while destroying stuff, didn't you? What do you mean by telling me not to fuss with you now? You can break stuff, but you can't pay for it. Back in high school, I always kept a low profile and focused on my studies. I never went out of my way to cause trouble. But David always seemed to pick on me, said I was pretending to be superior or wasn't a team player. He'd even bring a whole crowd to bully me. At those times, a group would hype things up. I bit my tongue to avoid trouble, stayed out of their way whenever I could. Didn't think my backing down would make them bolder. Today, they beat me up without hesitation. If I don't teach them a lesson, they'll keep pushing around the week when they saw I wasn't backing down. My old classmates panicked. They didn't dare to confront me, so they turned on David. This is all your fault, you useless jerk. You started all this with your big mouth. Yeah, you're the one who mooches off others then drags us into it. And you, going around saying you're the heir to a major company, really? Because of you, we had to suck up. Now you pay for it yourself. It's got nothing to do with us. Exactly. You're to blame. That $960 million? You cover it yourself. Don't think we're pitching in. David got furious and didn't hold back. You guys are such jerks, and you dare blame me? Ever since high school, you pushed me to bully people. You guys kept encouraging me to latch onto the rich. Thought I was going to be some big shot heir. So y'all sucked up. But now you turn your backs? You're all a bunch of lowlifers. Won't amount to much. Today, none of you are getting away. David was going head-to-head, arguing with them. They almost got into a brawl before the cops stepped in. After all that arguing, they tried to weasel out again, saying they didn't break anything. It was others who did. Some claimed they weren't involved in the fighting. Police showed surveillance footage, and they all shut up, couldn't say a word. Each had to pay back what they owed. Some scrambled, sold everything, begged to pay up, and left in defeat. Others got slapped with divorce papers or cut off by friends and family, couldn't get a cent, and were locked up. David went all out in this mess, so he owed the most. Faced with enormous debt, he turned to Sarah. Sarah, help me out for old time's sake. I couldn't pay this back even if I sold myself. Tears streamed down his face as he pleaded. Sarah's heart softened. After some hesitation, she turned to me and begged. Honey, we don't need to push this far. For the years we've been married, can you cut him some slack? I looked at her coldly. Give you face, Sarah? Do you still think you have any left with me? I'm sick to think of all those years I was fooled by you. Divorce papers are ready. From today, we're done with that. I walked off without looking back. So David and those who couldn't pay wound up in jail. Even my old high school teacher got investigated. Sarah walked away with nothing, as per the agreement. Later, I heard David got into fights in prison and ended up disabled. Those involved got their sentences lengthened. Complaints echoed in prison. Meanwhile, I entered a peaceful single life. After being part of a couple for so long, it felt strange but free. 3 years passed, and on a morning run, I saw a man with a crazed look chasing a woman with a belt, yelling, "You woman, cheating on me. I'll kill you today." The woman, missing a shoe, ran without looking back. I recognized her. It was Sarah, apparently caught in another affair. Guess it's true, either 0 times or countless ones.